Welcome everyone to another edition of Beer for Breakfast ABV. Yeah. From 91X World Domination Headquarters, I'm Tommy, producer Danielle, newest member of the Pink Boot Society. Paul Segura is here from Carl Strauss, everybody. And joining us today from Little Miss Brewing in Beermar 92126, we got the guys joining us today from Little Miss Brewing, Joe Lissica, the beer master, brewmaster, beer master, Beastmaster, perhaps.
All of the above. Yeah.
Ian Erskine is here celebrating his birthday today. Sales rep Ian Erskine. Mike Morbitzer is here as well, the assistant brewer. Welcome, you guys. It's great to have you here today. And I got to tell you, I love the whole World War II theme of all of your imagery. Did you come up with that, Ian?
No, that wasn't me. I can't take credit for that one.
Well, it looks really cool. I mean, this is like something that would be on a bomber, back in the day. And that has sort of applied to a lot of the names for your beers as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess our whole theme is sort of World War II era, 1940s, 50s, pinup girls, the war itself. So all the beers are kind of named after stuff like that. We brought some of them with us today, but we also have like our New Deal Pale Ale, which is Roosevelt's New Deal. Right on. The Helldiver IPA, which we didn't bring, but that's an airplane.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah. That's a really good one.
Difficult to fly, but easy to drink.
Exactly.
Difficult to fly after you drink.
Yeah. Right? And so a little bit of everything. Our Imperial Stout is called Devil's Piano, which is more of a slang term that was used for a machine gun during the war. So I guess like the whole chain of bullets was sort of like a piano keys, and then you're just killing people, so you're the devil. I don't know.
It's that savage thing.
Yeah. But
it was the war, bro.
I know.
Tough times. So we're gonna start off with the Rosy Ginger Wit. Now I think I know what this is named for, but
my sister.
Oh,
it was gonna be Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, no, it is Rosie the Riveter.
Is she ginger?
She could have been Reddit. I don't think Rosie was an actual person. It was more of something that they used for a symbol to rally people around. And I mean, wits don't typically have ginger in them. It's more coriander, orange peel, stuff like that. We do have some orange peel in there, but I thought ginger would give it a nice little kick, set it apart a little bit. We're not trying to change anything, but we're trying to give our own little touch to everything.
A little twist on it.
Yeah, this is a new yeast this time too.
This is a different yeast.
It's real spicy. I get a lot of peppery notes from this.
Very phenolic.
now just real quickly, and we've gone over this before on Beer for Breakfast and on Beer for Breakfast ABV, but what is a wit beer?
It's basically just a Belgian wheat beer. A lot of people know what a hef is, or like Blue Moon is. Well, Blue Moon is, I think, sort of a wit.
It's a wit. Yeah, it's a wit.
So it's not as banana and clovey as a hef would be. It's a little spicier.
They usually add cloves and stuff to it. I think wit means white in Belgium.
Yeah,
that's why there's some like Allagash white is actually.
And it's served unfiltered, and it looks kind of whitish.
So it's definitely lighter, lower in alcohol, a little spiciness, a little sweetness, but not overly sweet as like a hef might be. Not as fruity.
And coriander, chamomile.
Yeah.
There's a few spices
There's
there.
little spices. It's a little spicier than a hef would be.
Really refreshing in warm San Diego weather.
Well, cheers, you guys.
Yeah.
Cheers,
good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to Beer for
Cheers to
Breakfast.
Little Miss.
Happy birthday, Ian.
Yeah, Ian.
And to Ian's birthday.
And speaking of Ian's birthday, the guys from Little Miss did not arrive empty-handed. In fact, here, Ian, you should actually get this out, pal. There you go.
I already have like 6 today, but what's one more,
We've got
Very nice.
donuts for the birthday.
It's breakfast.
So I think this was a fuller box earlier.
It might have been.
That's great. It's good for you guys for bringing this along. That's awesome. So the next beer that we're going to try is the Red Army Red IPA. That's awesome. What else could you name it after, right?
I don't know. That name's been in our heads for a while, and then I was like, well, I think we need to make a red IPA, and that was the obvious choice for the name.
Yep.
So this beer is kind of a culmination of other beers we've done. We do a Smash series, which is a single malt, single hop beer. A lot of people around town are doing a lot of single hop beers, but they're not doing a single malt type thing. So I've had a lot of smashes from other places, and I was like, well, why isn't really anyone in San Diego kind of doing that? And Partly it's because they're not a very exciting beer. It's very simple, but it's also very educational. And, we want our customers to be educated about what they're drinking. But
So which variety was this?
So this one is kind of a super smash in a way. We've done maybe 10 or 12 different smashes, and we kind of took our favorites of those that we've done so far and put them into one beer.
Nice.
So we've done some that were just strictly Maris Otter and then different hops, or strictly Vienna and different hops. And we did a couple different Red X beers, which is a new malt for me. So, we actually learned stuff from this stuff as well. But we really liked what Red X did. We really liked Maris Otter and Vienna, and we put those in as our malt bill. And then the hops on this one was Amarillo, Galaxy, Mosaic, and Citra.
All the cheater hops.
Right.
Exactly.
It's really good.
Well, it's interesting you say that because there are so many red IPAs that I've had that are always a whole lot more malty than IPA. Like, you don't get a huge hop behind it, but you do on this. So is it because you have all those different hops in it?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. We definitely want the hops to shine. A lot of people do like a hoppy red, and a red IPA is kind of vague. It's not a real style, really, but it's kind of becoming one.
Yeah.
At Green Flash, the Hophead Red started out as just like a hoppy red, and then it was like, it's a hoppy red, but it might be a red IPA, we'll let you decide. And then it's like, it's a red IPA, that's what it is, And,
Good point. That was always one of my favorite beers. It was always
I love
a
that
lot
beer.
of Amarillo in there as well.
Yeah,
but I think that Red X malt you guys use in this beer allows the hops to come forward. It gives the beer that nice red color without, totally dominating the flavor.
not
we're
that
trying to
super sweet
make
malt.
it a malt forward beer, and usually a redder beer is because you need a lot of malt to get that, but the Red X is kind of amazing that way, is you don't need a lot to back it up to get that color, and you can use 100% of it, which a lot of redder malts, we can't do that. So
You guys killed it with this.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
really
good.
I really
good.
enjoy it. It's kind
really
of my
good.
favorite right now.
What makes a good red IPA, Mike? What do you think?
I think balance. I think the fact that hops are the main, part of IPA, but the red, with that flavor, you're getting toffee, you're getting caramel, you're getting all sorts of awesome sweet tones, and to balance that with the hops, it's kind of hard. That's why, I think black IPAs aren't as popular. To get that balance, it's really tough. But for this, they actually almost fight each other. Not with this one per se, but with other ones, and I think that's something that kind of draws people in. People who even aren't into IPAs, they don't like bitterness, but they still like the hop aroma, that flavor. I think this is a very approachable beer for them, and it's because they
that
play,
sweetness
they play
behind
together,
it.
and so it's got that little bit of sweetness, which in fact I think brings out that fruitiness from the hops, and that's why I love this style of beer.
Well said.
Is this tricky to make, Paul?
It is. So, like he said, man, balance is everything. It's got that nice balance. It's hop forward, but you also get the nice malty, complex, flavors going on in the back end. And you can drink a lot of that. It's got everything a beer lover wants in a beer. It's got.
Yeah.
Did we cheers on this?
Yeah,
I don't think we did.
Goes down all right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Man, that's very gillable.
Now you guys are at 7949 Stromesa Court.
Stromesa Court, yeah.
In Beer Mar, Suite Y 92126. What's your website?
Work in progress.
All right. Well, you've only been around since July.
Yeah, we're pretty new. We do have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff.
All right. So you're there.
Yeah, it's getting there. That's where our main production facility is. We do have 2 tasting rooms in the works that are probably, we have one in Normal Heights that could be mid-May, potentially.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And then Ocean Beach is the next
Nobody
one.
drinks beer there.
No, and nobody opens tasting rooms there either. So, but that one is probably a couple weeks behind, so maybe early June on that one.
So was that the plan the entire time, that this was you wanted to get your production facility down and then open tasting room? Your production facility wasn't necessarily supposed to be tasting room?
Their whole idea was, we can have extra tasting rooms for your license, so why not? And it's definitely beneficial for us because we get to reach other markets that maybe we don't actually distribute to a lot. And a lot of people don't want to drive to Miramar,
Right.
especially when there's traffic. So they didn't really even want to have a tasting room at the brewery itself.
Oh, wow.
to begin with, but I told them that we had to.
Well, I mean,
Given
just follow
location.
the signs and eventually you'll get there. And if you think you haven't gotten there yet, keep going because you will
Yeah,
get there.
no, it's definitely there. It's kind of hard to find, but I mean,
The signage has been good, though. You guys have been very good on that.
we're right in the middle of everyone else. We're right by McKellar and AleSmith, and people are going to just show up regardless of whether there was a tasting room or not. So I said, look, put one in. We'll make money. I'm putting taps on the wall anyway, so I can drink the beer. We might as well make some money off it.
That's exactly right.
And
People
I
are
mean,
showing up.
people were showing up before we even started brewing. They were like, "Oh, there's a brewery here." I'm like, "Yeah, well, eventually, we're still in construction mode."
And female stalkers.
Yeah. Well, we hadn't hired Ian yet, but they showed up so
We'll
shortly
get to
after.
that. Well, you guys are off to a good start with the beer so far, and the final beer that we're going to try is the Operation Overlord Double IPA, named for Operation Overlord, D-Day Operation.
Yeah.
Eisenhower would be thrilled that you were naming this beer after him. That's
Yeah.
totally cool.
Yeah, no,
Love that.
that was definitely one of the owners. That was his. He wanted to do a beer like that, and I was like, "Well, that has to be our double IPA."
That's awesome.
So that. This
My
one,
uncle was in the original production of that
Yeah.
back in the day.
This one we debuted for Beer Week in November. We made it pretty much for that, and we had such a good reception that we're like, okay, well, it's gonna just keep going.
Yeah.
It kind of quickly became a fan favorite and has taken over almost as our flagship.
Yeah.
What's the ABV on this?
8.5.
So it's not too,
Not too crazy, but I mean, it's there. It's noticeable. We used some oatmeal in there, which isn't really traditional at all.
No, I dig that. I dig you guys are like,
But I mean, it kind of like the ginger wit. We just wanted to add a little twist. We're not trying to redo the style or remake anything, but we just want to add our own little touch. We're not trying
Flair
to.
to it.
I think it
crazy
drinks like a
with it, but-
6.5.
yes.
Yeah, this could get you into trouble.
Oh, it
This could
does.
get
Oh, it
you
does.
into
Oh, it does.
trouble. Like,
I just I love that it's not syrupy and like way too sweet. A lot of double IPAs, which is like where they come from originally, you have that big kind of malt sweetness. This one, I think we just got some smoothness, some like mouthfeel, and it
This
drinks
beer
so
is a
easy.
sniper.
That's
And maybe you use that for another beer name down the road.
that's your trick.
Gotta adjust the scope. Hang on a second there.
Yeah, this one kind of caught us by surprise. We were just kind of like, well, let's make a double IPA. We'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Oatmeal might be cool. I mean, I've had oatmeal pales, some IPAs, but I hadn't really had an IPA with a double IPA with oatmeal. And I definitely Googled it, and there have been some, but not like a main production beer. It's kind of like a one-off thing.
This could be your opportunity to go big and be
I know. I don't want to. I mean,
GABF all over this.
right?
Knock on wood.
Never
Take
too
the ball
early,
and
right?
run, Joe. Take the ball and run.
I know. I mean, having a double IPA as your flagship is kind of risky, but I think Russian River did pretty well with that. So.
Well, and not in San Diego. I think in San Diego it's such a IPA hop forward
yeah, I mean,
town.
this town is an IPA town, and I mean, this beer, it kind of just took off. I don't think we really expected it to go that crazy, but I mean, the day after we debuted it at the Guild Fest, like one of those writers said it was like one of the top 10 beers there. I was like, wow, it's been available for one day, and it's already like a top 10 beer.
That didn't take long.
That's awesome.
I mean, this guy was running around screaming his head off when he heard that.
Dude, I'm an animal. I was really stoked.
He was a
for
wild
it.
card.
He's
That one.
savage.
I just love this beer so much, and I'm glad that like whenever he decided to make a double IPA, he came with like oatmeal, and he brought that up. And I remember whenever he did, I was like, because I'm not a big fan of double IPAs because of that syrupiness almost. And so whenever he said that, I was like, that's how you fix it. This is the key, and I dig it. I love it. So
Ian, is it tough to go and sell a new brewery sometimes, and someone who hasn't been around for too long, even though the beers are good?
Yeah, people have been receptive though. I mean, Joe's been around for a while now, so it definitely helps having him to be able to walk into a brewery and be like, it's Joe from Green Flash. So he's definitely been helping out. But it's tough. I mean, there's 130 breweries in San Diego, plus another 3,000 in the country. So,
Right.
But yeah, we're just sticking to it. Joe's making good beers, and people have been receptive to it. So
Yeah, I mean,
Gotta be thankful
having
for
a
that.
good product definitely helps. There's a lot of new breweries who just start out, and even if their stuff is good, it still takes them a little bit longer to get in. But I mean, fortunately for us, I've been doing this for about 10 years, so I mean, all these bars, I know the owners already, so
Right.
they're like doing me a
Stop
solid,
Blair,
you know.
come on, man. Like, they're like, we're on.
I mean, like, Small Bar was our first
Well, yeah.
first account, and then like they kept ordering. I'm like, dude, thank you guys so much. They're like, no, we don't care about you anymore. The beer is good, and you know, we're gonna just keep ordering. I was like, oh, cool. Well, you know, thanks anyway.
I saw it at Brew Project because I had just gone to Little Miss and we
Yeah.
had never been there before, and then went for brunch at Brew Project, and I was like, holy crap! Like, there's Little Miss.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
They've been really good to us
Yeah,
too.
Bo and
They-
Alex are doing some really cool
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
over there.
And that place is
keeping it
rad. I
San
mean,
Diego.
the whole idea of that place is like a tasting room for people who can't go to
Yeah.
tasting rooms.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
just
brewery
right
tour
there.
under one roof. They're
Yeah.
awesome. A lot of people have been great to us. We can't complain.
Yeah.
And Joe, your rock star status has certainly been cemented with your appearance in the Sexy Brewers calendar, everyone. You and Mike making an appearance.
Yeah.
Check that out. That's awesome. Would you guys do us the honor of signing this
It would,
on Beer for Breakfast
absolutely.
ABV? We have a couple of handy pens, just in case we might need some stashed under the bar here.
You never know when you have to sign a calendar.
Hey, when a celebrity comes back.
Yeah.
What's the tattoo on your chest there, man?
Oh, I got two actually. I have they're the kind that represent my parents. Whenever I joined the Navy, they split up, but I got one for each of them. That's why they're facing like kind of weird and dramatic. But
It's all good. It's all
I know,
good.
so, I mean, every tattoo
Nobody's
I get has a
judging.
story for the most part. But so I have one here, and that's the male holding a rose. And my dad was very romantic. My mom's over here. She has perfume. I remember her smell. And whenever I took the Cicerone exam, I passed the oxidation part for the off flavors because I smelled lipstick, and it's like I smelled that before I went to school in the morning on her.
Yeah.
And so like they played a huge part in my life. So I have one for them. I have a few others.
That's really
so.
cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
So are these the overalls that you're wearing right now?
These are probably the exact same
when
ones.
When Nick from 30 Tour North came in and he's wearing his overalls, it was the same overalls
Oh,
from
yeah,
the
no,
film.
I only have two pairs, and they're not even Carhartts. I don't even think I'm really official right now. All right, there you go, guys.
All right, they're a little more faded now than in the picture.
Oh yeah, no,
They've been through the laundry a couple
They've
times.
been loved.
I do work.
How many pictures did you take before you got to this particular
I think that was the
photo?
first one, probably.
that right?
We did a pre
Yeah.
of just us, and when we were taking pictures to like do the calendar.
They have
and-
like little like promotion, like, hey, we're doing this calendar, send us some pictures, like hashtag it or whatever. So we put it on our calendar. Let's take pictures these days. And so we sat around for like an hour taking weird pictures, and then
that was
we sent them
awkward,
in, and
though.
then like half an hour later, like, can we come by tomorrow and take some?
Yeah, just like we were taking. So same pose and everything.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, let's do the forklift. Like we were like putting our phone up and like setting a timer and like hopping on the forklift and doing it. And so they're like, okay, let's just redo what you guys were doing. That was a lot of fun. And they said this was like the most like non
sensual, but not.
Sensual.
Well,
Hence
yeah,
the female stalkers.
yeah. I mean, I think we were the most clothed in this
Yeah, we
entire
definitely were.
calendar.
We were very reserved.
So
Sometimes less is more.
I was like, okay, just wait for next year, you know.
This picture is posted in the brewery as soon as you walk in.
Oh
we have
yeah,
our
we
window
got,
to
we
our
got the
office.
big size just right there.
I bought
It's the
that.
Sexy Brewers calendar. You can't argue with.
I know, it's,
For
You guys
life.
leave a little more to the imagination, and sometimes the imagination runs wild.
yeah.
And I gotta
Is
tell you,
it,
I
is it running wild?
I really do love these shirts that you guys have. This is just some really cool swag you guys brought by. This is really cool. I'm digging all that. And then love this one, the Rosie the Riveter one.
That one's
For
sweet.
the width that we
I wear
tried.
that shirt all the
Yeah.
time. I love that one.
And you're smelling it.
Yeah. Well, does it smell like ginger? Because I.
New shirt, that new shirt scent.
Doesn't smell as good as the beer, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And I love this one too here. With the giant hop on there.
It's our newest one.
Yeah, I
Look
think
at
it's
that, Rick. That's
newest
like the
one.
Hillsborough hops right there, right? There you go. I'll sniff this one too. Anyways, thanks for coming by, you guys. It was great having you here.
Absolutely.
I mean, terrific beers, and I live right around the corner from you guys, so I need to pay you guys a visit.
Cheers, man.
Yeah. Brewmaster Joe Lasica from Little Miss. So nice to have you here today, Joe.
Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
us.
being here. Ian, celebrating his birthday. Get out those donuts again, buddy. And Mike Morbitzer, the assistant brewer, and also the guy on the left in the Sexy Brewers calendar as well, the two tattoos. Thanks for coming by, you guys. It's Little Miss Brewing. Check out more of Beer for Breakfast ABV at 91x.com. You can also check out the on-air editions of Beer for Breakfast and share them with your friends, social media them around, or I don't know, You get to work, I know you're not really working. You're looking at beer for breakfast at 91x.com. Pay these guys a visit.